Hi everybody and welcome into another edition of the SunDevilSource postgame show. I'm Ethan Tuttle, joined alongside Chris Cartman. We're here at Desert Financial Arena following Arizona State's 72-61 win over the San Francisco Dons. It's the Sun Devils' third straight win, Chris, and they improved to 5-2 as a team. Let's go ahead and jump right in with your initial takeaways as the Sun Devils felt like they dominated this game pretty much the whole way through.
Well, look, Bobby Hurley's not able to rely that much on his bench right now. You got some guys out injured, and so first 7 minutes of the game, all the starters were out there the whole time. They jumped on the neck of the Dons, and then that kind of carried through in a wire-to-wire win. I felt like the energy and understanding of what they're trying to be ideologically is starting to settle in on them. In this game, they had 5 made threes. Last game, they made 4 made threes. They're taking away more of their shots inside the arc. They're generating offense with their defense. They're getting rebounds, trying to limit second chance opportunities and offensive rebounds. All those things kind of came through. This is not going to be a very good shooting team ever. They already are at the bottom of the NCAA in a lot of these categories. So how do you overcome that? You have to swarm with your defense. You have to be strong on the ball, fighting through screens, take everything off the glass that you get and get out in transition. And I think they're starting to show that they have the ability to do that.
Let's go ahead and talk about the starting five. They scored every single point on the floor tonight for ASU. It was headlined by Frankie Collins. He had a couple of threes. A great pass as well that set up a three-pointer, and he was able to facilitate the ball and score really throughout the whole game. Just your takeaways on the starting five for ASU tonight and how Frankie Collins has kind of been developing so far this season.
Yeah, I'm calling him Frankie Five Fingers Collins now, Ethan, because he's got that five-finger discount the way he steals the ball. This is a guy who's third in the NCAA coming into tonight in steals. He had 3 more in this game. He's setting the tone on the defensive end and also on the glass. I think he had 7 or 8 rebounds last game, did so again in this game. Shot the ball better from the perimeter than we've tended to see. Made a couple of shots early that heated him up on his way to being the leading scorer for ASU. Jemiah Neal had a double-double. He had 11 rebounds to go with a pretty decent offensive performance. And then you had all 5 of your starters for ASU reaching into double figures, with a couple of those guys having 12 points. Jose Perez has been a very important player on the offensive side, the way that he can work from the mid-post, and even against the centers of the opposing teams, he's able to use his footwork and be creative. So I really feel like they're starting to get a sense of what they're trying to do on the offensive end, between the pacing that Frankie likes to play at, which is that transitional get up and down, and they have the athletes to do that. But then also Perez is more of a let's slow it down, space you out, and score from the mid post or facilitate. And Jemiah Neal is someone who's able to operate and fit into some of these different modes of attacking. So I think they're not going to be a great offensive team, but they're starting to show that they can be good enough paired with their defense.
So with no points coming off the bench, do you think there needs to be some sort of concern or any worry at all with the bench play from the Sun Devils and maybe generating some more points coming out of there? And also, I know Coach Bobby Hurley talked postgame about Kamari Land's transfer player and how it just seems like it's only going to be a matter of time until he comes on, says Hurley.
Yeah, Hurley said that prior to the start of the season, Lands was playing really well and shooting the ball, and that hasn't materialized. Sometimes you get into a rut, and then that gets in your head, and then it kind of plays itself out over a period of weeks. And we've seen that at ASU a lot over the years, where guys who are pretty good shooters have gone through really cold spells. His mechanics look pretty good shooting the ball, but he's not really having any success. And then the big challenge, though, Ethan, is that when that carries over, it affects you in a way that then takes you out of your rebounding or your defense, and then now you got more issues. And so they need to get him going, because obviously they don't have Sean Phillips, they don't have Zane Meeks. They're using Lands more as a 4-man right now, and you really need more than just Brian Salabange and Alonzo Gaffney on the interior. Tonight they had some foul trouble that they had to work through, a couple guys with 2 fouls early in the front court, and in order to be the team that they want to be later on in the season when they get some of those guys back, they're going to need Lands and others to develop. But I do think that Salabange had his best game tonight, even though he was going up against San Francisco center, who got the best of him on the offensive end of the floor.
Thank you so much for watching. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the SunDevilSource postgame show. Sun Devils will be back in action on Wednesday against SMU. They got out of DFA tonight with a win, 72-61 over the San Francisco Dons. He's Chris Cartman. I'm Ethan Tuttle. We'll see you next time.